900 days. That's how long it took. Not decades, not a slow decline. 900 days. The Soviet Union, nuclear superpower, 30,000 warheads, half of Europe under their control. 900 days from peak to complete dissolution. Argentina, the 8th largest economy in the world, the Paris of South America, banking hub, educated population, thriving middle class. 1,000 days from stability to the largest sovereign default in history. Lebanon, the Switzerland of the Middle East, stable democracy, banking center, tourism destination. 900 days from functioning nation to failed state. 3 different continents, 3 different systems, 3 different decades, the same pattern, the same timeline, 900 days every single time. And the United States is at day 980. We've already passed the 900-day mark. Let me show you why that should terrify you. Here's what you need to understand about collapse. It doesn't happen gradually. It doesn't take generations. It happens in a specific pattern, and that pattern runs its course in approximately 900 days. Not 900 years, not 90 years, 900 days from the moment the pattern begins. Why 900 days? Because that's how long it takes for confidence to completely evaporate once the cracks become visible. Confidence is the only thing holding complex systems together. Not gold reserves, not military power, not history or tradition. Confidence. And once confidence begins to crack, you get approximately 900 days before the entire structure collapses. The pattern has 7 stages. Same stages every time. Same sequence. Same acceleration. Stage 1, confidence peak. Stage 2, hidden economic rot. Stage 3, the trigger event. Stage 4, confidence collapse. Stage 5, desperation phase. Stage 6, system break. Stage 7, new reality. I'm going to show you this pattern 3 times. USSR, Argentina, Lebanon, and I'm going to show you where the United States is right now. And the math says we're already past day 900. December 1989. The Soviet Union controls Eastern Europe, commands 5 million troops, possesses 30,000 nuclear weapons, and rules 290 million people. Rival to the United States for 45 years. The world's second superpower. December 1991. It doesn't exist. 900 days. That's what it took. Stage 1. The confidence peak. Early 1989. Mikhail Gorbachev is implementing reforms, glasnost, perestroika. The narrative is, we're reforming from a position of strength. The USSR has a $2.7 trillion GDP. The military is massive. The Communist Party controls everything. Nobody in Moscow believes the Soviet Union could actually collapse. That's absurd. They're a nuclear superpower. Stage 2, the economic rot. But underneath, the economy is dying. Real GDP growth is negative 2%, hidden by fake statistics. Oil revenues, their primary export, are declining. The Afghan war has cost $15 to $20 billion annually for 10 years. Consumer goods shortages are so widespread that the black market is larger than the official economy. Government spending is over 50% military. There's been no real productivity growth since the 1970s. But the system runs on momentum. Everyone pretends it's working. The rot is hidden. Stage 3. The trigger event. November 9, 1989. The Berlin Wall falls, day 0. Poland, Hungary, Czechoslovakia. They reject Soviet control. The Eastern European satellites break away. The USSR loses its buffer zone. And psychologically, this is the moment. The moment the population realizes, we're not invincible. We can lose. Stage 4. The confidence collapse. 1990. Days 50 to 400. The Baltic republics demand independence. Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, then others follow. The ruble loses value on the black market. Food shortages worsen, red lines are hours long. Ethnic tensions explode across the 15 republics. The Communist Party's authority is openly questioned. Anyone with dollars hoards them. Capital flight begins. The currency is trading at 100 to 1 versus the official rate. Stage 5. The desperation phase, 1990 to 1991. Days 400 to 700. January 1991, the government cracks down in Lithuania. 13 people are killed. Economic output drops 10 to 15%. Inflation spikes to triple digits. Store shelves are empty. They implement a voucher system for basic goods. Coal miners go on strike in spring 1991. The government can't pay wages on time. The ruble is collapsing. The system is hemorrhaging legitimacy. Stage 6. The system break. August 19 to 21, 1991. Day 800. Hardline communists attempt a coup to restore the old system. It fails. Boris Yeltsin stands on a tank and defies them. The military refuses to follow orders. The Communist Party loses all remaining legitimacy. Republics declare independence en masse. The game is over. Stage 7. The new reality. December 26, 1991. Day 900. The Soviet Union officially dissolves. A nuclear superpower becomes 15 separate nations overnight. The ruble becomes wallpaper. Inflation hits 1,000% in 1992. GDP collapses 50% over the next 3 years. Life expectancy drops 5 years. Everyone's savings are wiped out. Oligarchs seize state assets for pennies. Russia today has a smaller GDP than California. 900 days. Superpower to nothing. And here's what's important. In early 1989, nobody in Moscow thought this was possible. The idea that the Soviet Union would cease to exist within 900 days was considered insane, unthinkable, ridiculous. But confidence is everything, and once it cracks, you have 900 days. 2001, Argentina is the 8th largest economy in the world by purchasing power parity. $900 billion GDP. They call it the Paris of South America. Educated population, natural resources. A thriving middle class with jobs, savings, stability. 2003. Half the population is living in poverty. Approximately 1,000 days, the same pattern. Stage 1. The confidence peak, late 1990s. Argentina has a 1-to-1 peso to dollar peg in place since 1991. We've beaten inflation, the government says. Foreign investment is flowing in. GDP is growing. The narrative is, Argentina is back. Stage 2. The economic rot, 1999 to 2000. But the currency peg requires massive dollar reserves. When Brazil devalues in 1999, Argentina can't compete. Exports collapse because their peso is overvalued. Unemployment rises to 15%. Government debt hits $132 billion, 50% of GDP. Tax revenue is declining. The peg holds. Confidence holds. The rot is hidden. Stage 3. The trigger event. March 2001. Day 0. The finance minister resigns and warns of crisis. The IMF demands austerity in exchange for loans. The government cuts salaries by 13%. Riots begin. Argentina's credit rating is downgraded to junk. Capital flight starts. $20 billion leaves the country in months. Stage 4. The confidence collapse. July to November 2001. Days 100 to 250. The government implements a zero-deficit plan, extreme austerity. Then they freeze bank deposits. You can only withdraw $1,000 per month. They call it corralito, the little fence. People panic. They try to withdraw their savings. Bank runs. Police protect the banks. The peso-dollar peg is under attack. Argentina burns through $10 billion in reserves trying to defend it. Stage 5. The desperation phase. December 2001. Days 270 to 300. December 19th and 20th, riots erupt in Buenos Aires. 39 people are killed by police. President Fernando de la Rúa resigns. He literally escapes by helicopter. Argentina has 5 presidents in 2 weeks. 5. Supermarkets are looted. The middle class is reduced to bartering. People bang pots and pans in protest, case Relazo. Stage 6. The system break. December 2001 to January 2002. Days 300 to 320. December 23, 2001. Argentina defaults on $132 billion in debt. The largest sovereign default in history at the time. January 6, 2002. The peso-dollar peg is abandoned. The peso collapses from 1-to-1 to 4-to-1 overnight. Bank deposits are converted to pesos, a 75% haircut in real terms. Savings wiped out. Stage 7. The new reality. 2002 to 2003. GDP collapses 28% in 2 years. Unemployment hits 25%. The poverty rate goes from 25% to 57%. The middle class is destroyed. The peso eventually hits 6-to-1. Today it's 350-to-1. It took 10 years just to recover to 2001 GDP levels. Trust in institutions is permanently broken. 1,000 days, they had jobs, savings, middle-class lives. In 1,000 days, they were bartering for food. The pattern doesn't care about your education or your resources. 2019, Lebanon is stable. They call it the Switzerland of the Middle East. Banking hub, tourism, educated population. Multi-confessional democracy, unique in the region. GDP per capita over $8,000. The Lebanese pound has been pegged to the dollar at 1,507 to 1 since 1997. For 22 years stable. 2022, failed state. Currency lost 98% of its value. 80% poverty rate. 900 days, the fastest collapse of all three. Stage 1, the confidence peak, 2018 to early 2019. The currency peg has held for 22 years. Lebanese banks are paying 15% interest on deposits. Capital is flowing in from the diaspora. We're different, they say. Our banking system is strong. Beirut has luxury cars, thriving restaurants. Confidence is high. Stage 2, the economic rot, 2019 hidden. But the banking system is a Ponzi scheme, paying old deposits with new money. Government debt is 150% of GDP. There's no productive economy. Imports exceed exports 3 to 1. The electricity works 3 hours per day because the government can't pay for fuel. Corruption is endemic. Reserves are secretly depleting. 1.5 million Syrian refugees, 25% of the population, add strain. The rot is massive. Stage 3, the trigger event, October 17, 2019, Day 0. The government proposes a WhatsApp tax, 20 cents per day. Massive protests erupt. Hundreds of thousands in the streets. The October 17 revolution. The government is paralyzed. Banks close to prevent runs. Confidence shatters instantly. Stage 4. The confidence collapse. November 2019 to June 2020. Days 30 to 250. Banks reopen but limit withdrawals to $200, $400 per week. A black market dollar rate emerges. Capital controls are imposed, illegal but enforced. The currency starts losing value. Then, COVID-19 hits in March 2020. Tourism dies. Saudi Arabia withdraws deposits. Stage 5, the desperation phase, August 2020 to 2021. Days 290 to 650. August 4, 2020. The Beirut port explodes. 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate. 218 dead. 7,000 injured. $15 billion in damage. The government resigns. The currency goes into freefall, 1,507 to 10,000 to 1 by year's end. Hyperinflation. Food prices up 400%. Electricity 1 hour per day. No medicine in hospitals. Garbage piling up in the streets. Stage 6. The system break. 2021 to 2022. Days 650 to 850. March 2021, the currency hits 15,000 to 1, a 90% loss. Banks won't give people their own money. Depositors hold up banks at gunpoint to access their savings. The government stops providing basic services. No fuel, no electricity, no water treatment. Army soldiers moonlight as taxi drivers because they can't survive on their salary. 80% of the population falls below the poverty line. Stage 7, the new reality. 2022 to present. Days 850 to 900 plus. The currency hits 100,000 to 1. A 98% loss. GDP collapsed 40% in 3 years. Lebanon is a failed state. No government services. People pay $300 per month for private generator electricity. The middle class is wiped out. Doctors and engineers are leaving the country. The Lebanese lira is literally worthless. People use dollars for anything significant. 900 days. And this wasn't 1991. This was 2019 to 2022. Wi-Fi, smartphones, Instagram. Social media documented the entire collapse in real time. The pattern doesn't care about modernity. Now let me show you where the United States is right now. Same pattern, same 7 stages, same timeline. Except we're not watching history anymore, we're inside it. And here's what should keep you awake at night. We're at day 980. We already passed the 900-day mark. Stage 6 should have begun by now, but we're still in Stage 5. Why? Because the United States is too big, the collapse is slower. The system has more momentum. But that doesn't mean it's not coming. It means when it finally breaks, it will be catastrophic. Stage 1. The confidence peak. Check. Pre 2020. America is exceptional. The dollar will always be the reserve currency. Our economy is the strongest in the world. This time is different. That was stage 1. We're past it. Stage 2. The economic rot. Check. 2000 to 2020. Manufacturing gutted, 70% decline since 1980. Productivity growth stagnant, 2% versus 6% in the 1960s. Real wages flat for 40 years. Debt explosion. $6 trillion in 2000, $36 trillion in 2025. Money printing. The Fed's balance sheet was $800 billion in 2008. It hit $8 trillion in 2022. Healthcare and education costs up 500 to 1,000%. Infrastructure is crumbling, D+ grade from engineers. Opioid crisis. 100,000 deaths per year. Life expectancy is declining. The rot is complete. Stage 3. The trigger event. Check. March 2023. Day 0. Silicon Valley Bank collapses. Then Signature Bank. Then First Republic. The banking crisis begins. The Fed is forced to print $400 billion to prevent total contagion. And internationally, the dollar weaponization begins backfiring. Russia sanctions. BRICS nations actively seeking dollar alternatives. Saudi Arabia accepting yuan for oil. Confidence in the dollar as a neutral reserve currency, broken. Stage 4. The confidence collapse. Check. In progress, 2023 to 2024. Foreign holdings of U.S. Treasuries are declining. China is selling U.S. bonds. Countries are repatriating gold reserves. They want physical gold, not paper promises. Reich's currency discussions are accelerating. The dollar's share of global reserves has fallen to 59% in 2024, down from 71% in 1999. Capital flows are shifting. America First has become America Alone. Stage 5. The desperation phase. Check. This is where we are now. 2024 to 2025. Day 980. We passed day 900, the point where the USSR dissolved, the point where Argentina defaulted, the point where Lebanon became a failed state. So why hasn't America collapsed yet? 3 reasons. First, size. The U.S. economy is 30 times larger than Lebanon, 20 times larger than Argentina. It takes longer to turn a battleship. Second, the dollar's reserve status. Foreign countries are still forced to hold dollars for international trade. That buys time. Third, the military. 800 bases in 80 countries. Aircraft carriers, nuclear weapons. Nobody wants to see what happens when America truly destabilizes. But here's what's happening right now at day 980. The U.S. government is spending 25% more than it collects in taxes. $2 trillion deficit annually. Interest on the debt is $1.1 trillion per year, more than the defense budget. The Fed is trapped. It can't raise rates without killing the economy. It can't lower rates without killing the dollar. Regional bank failures are continuing. Commercial real estate is beginning to collapse. Credit card debt just hit $1.13 trillion, a record high. Consumer confidence is declining despite the strong economy narrative. Political polarization is extreme. We cannot agree on basic facts anymore. Institutional trust is at all-time lows. People feel the economy is terrible, even though official statistics say it's strong. But we're not at bank runs yet. We're not at empty shelves yet. We're not at visible hyperinflation yet. We're not at currency collapse yet. We're at day 980 of stage 5. 80 days past the historical breaking point. The system is holding, barely. Stage 6. The system break. We're overdue. Days 900 to 1,000 of the pattern. We're at day 980 now. The fact that it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. It means the pressure is building. What does this look like when it finally breaks? The dollar loses reserve status, or the Treasury market breaks. No one wants to buy bonds. Or the Fed is forced to monetize all debt, print money to buy all bonds directly. Or the banking system requires a multi-trillion-dollar bailout. Or Social Security and Medicare cuts are announced, the social contract breaks, or debt default, even temporary. The moment everyone realizes the emperor has no clothes. The delay doesn't save us. It makes the eventual break worse. Stage 7. The new reality. Coming. Days 1,000 plus. Could be 2026. Could be 2027. Could be next month. Severe recession or depression. Currency reset. New dollar, old dollar devalued. Dollar loses reserve status entirely. Euro, yuan, multipolar system. Possible IMF intervention. Unthinkable. But so was the Soviet collapse. Social contract broken. Retirement promises. Safety net gone. Political upheaval. Regional fragmentation. The American century ends. Day 980. We're 80 days past the point where the USSR dissolved. We're living on borrowed time. The pattern is intact. The stages are in sequence. We're just bigger, so it's taking longer. But the math doesn't lie. And we're running out of runway. 3 collapses. 3 different continents. 3 different economic systems. 3 different decades. The Soviet Union. Superpower for 45 years. Nuclear arsenal. Military dominance, 900 days gone. Argentina. 8th largest economy. Middle class, banking hub. 1,000 days, poverty. Lebanon. Stable democracy, banking center, modern nation, 900 days, failed state. The same 7 stages every time. The same sequence, the same acceleration. 900 days, every single time. The Soviet Union didn't see it coming. Nobody in Moscow thought collapse was possible. They were a nuclear superpower. They were invincible. Argentina didn't see it coming. They were the Paris of South America. They had beaten inflation. They were different. Lebanon didn't see it coming. They were the Switzerland of the Middle East, stable for decades, modern, connected. They'd all believed they were special. They all believed this time is different. The United States is at day 980. We passed the 900-day mark. The historical breaking point. We're still standing. But that doesn't mean we're safe. It means the pressure is building. It means when the system finally breaks, the collapse will be bigger than anything we've seen. You now know the pattern. You know the timeline. You know the stages. The only question left is, what are you going to do about it? The pattern doesn't care about American exceptionalism. It doesn't care about our military. It doesn't care that we believe we're different. The math is the math. And we're at